we need to talk about Bluetooth audiophile devices. I think some audio devices should come with Bluetooth for convenience. Portable headphone amplifiers, for example, should have an option for Bluetooth transmission. This is because every once in a while, even a die-hard audiophile may want to enjoy their music without being tethered to their computer. But I want to emphasize something. I'm talking about Bluetooth being a convenience feature. It should not be the product itself. Why am I bringing this up? Because lately some people have been hyping Bluetooth products for audiophiles, and it is getting pretty annoying. I'm not going to name any of these people, but you can guess who. So, in the hopes of putting things into perspective, let's talk a little bit about Bluetooth for audiophiles and why you are being scammed. I think it makes sense to give you concrete examples of products. Think of the Ear Studio ES100 and the FiiO BTR1, BTR3, and the newly released but not yet available to buy BTR5. All of these devices do one thing. They are headphone amplifiers with Bluetooth. They are principally designed for Bluetooth functionality, although you can use them as USB DACs as well. The reason I point out these devices specifically is because of the marketing and hype surrounding them. These devices are pushed as audiophile Bluetooth amplifiers, and that is an oxymoron. Bluetooth is not high-resolution audio, it's not even CD quality audio. Bluetooth is subpar audio signal, pure and simple. And when you combine that with an amplifier, you're simply amplifying a poor source signal. The Ear Studio is $80. It has 3.5mm and 2.5mm balanced connections. It supports Bluetooth codecs including aptX and LDAC, and it has incredibly poor amplification. Ear Studio does not provide actual numbers for amplification, they hide it. Massdrop, by the way, collaborated with Ear Studio recently and also went along with hiding the amplification numbers. I was able to find the milliwatt output power, however. It comes directly as an answer to a question on Amazon. In 3.5mm output, the Ear Studio provides 25 milliwatts at 32 ohms and 40 milliwatts at 16 ohms. In 2.5mm balanced, it provides 100 milliwatts at 32 ohms and 160 milliwatts at 16 ohms. This, to say the least, is abysmal. The FiiO BTR1 supports the SBC and aptX codecs. It only has 3.5mm output. Unlike Ear Studio, FiiO does provide amplification numbers. They say that the BTR1 has 30 milliwatts at 16 ohms and 15 milliwatts at 32 ohms. This device, by the way, is $50. The FiiO BTR3 supports the same codecs as the Ear Studio. It is $70. However, it does not have balanced output. FiiO says that the BTR3 provides 25 milliwatts at 32 ohms and 33 milliwatts at 16 ohms. Then there's the newest FiiO Bluetooth product, the BTR5. It has the same codecs as the Ear Studio and BTR3. It has balanced output like the Ear Studio. It supports DST-256, and it will cost $110 when it is actually available to buy. FiiO says that in unbalanced connection, the BTR5 provides 80 milliwatts at 32 ohms and 90 milliwatts at 16 ohms. In balanced connection, the BTR5 provides 240 milliwatts at both 32 and 16 ohms. Depending on the headphones you use, it is clear that the BTR5 on paper appears to be the most powerful of these amplifiers. But what exactly are you paying $110 for? The FiiO K3, for example, supports DSD and high-resolution PCM, and it has both balanced and unbalanced, which have higher output power than any of the Bluetooth options we have just discussed, and it costs $100. There are plenty of similar alternatives. So, what's the big deal about the Ear Studio and FiiO Bluetooth devices? Well, there's nothing special. In fact, you're paying money for subpar audio quality. Remember when I said that amplifiers should have Bluetooth as a convenience? I meant it. Portable amp DACs that support high-resolution audio should also have Bluetooth capability, just because it is easy to implement and might be convenient for some. But I never propose and do not condone products that only provide Bluetooth as the primary functionality. You may have heard of Bluetooth 4.0 and 4.1 and 5.0 and yada yada yada. You likely know of aptX and LDAC and SBC, or at least you've read the acronyms. All of these Bluetooth formats are incredibly bad. I suggest you read a very thorough explanation of the popular Bluetooth codecs on habr.com. It is very difficult to find information about these codecs, and HABR is the only website that collated the various information. SBC is the standard codec. It provides up to 328 kilobits of streaming resolution at sample rates up to 48 kHz. This, by the way, is 16-bit audio. aptX is supposed to be better than SBC. It is also 16-bit audio. It samples up to 48 kHz. It has a bitrate of up to 384 kilobits. aptX HD is theoretically better than SBC and aptX. It is 24-bit audio and samples up to 48 kHz at 576 kilobits per second. Then there's LDAC, a technology that Sony created. There's not a lot of information here since Sony is notorious for keeping its designs hidden. What is known is that LDAC has a sample rate of up to 96 kHz at 909 kilobits per second. This is also 24-bit audio at best. You might think that LDAC is the obvious winner. It is not. There's a lot of marketing fluff around these codecs. I seriously doubt most people even know how the codecs function or what so-called benefits one provides over the other. Luckily, some people actually put these codecs to the test. On the Sound Guys website, there is a lengthy article explaining LDAC and its claims. The Sound Guys find that LDAC, even at its peak performance, is less than CD quality and noisy to boot. Sony's claims that LDAC is superior in every way to aptX and SBC is only true on paper, and that real-world tests show very little differences between them. Moreover, there is one major problem with all of these codecs, a problem that is rarely described. No matter which of these Bluetooth devices you buy, the Earstudio or FiiO products, that streaming bandwidth depends on your source device. For example, if you buy the BTR5 to take advantage of its LDAC capability, you better have a phone or computer that transmits LDAC. Newsflash, iOS devices do not support LDAC. And those devices that do support LDAC streaming do not do it well. Remember, all the numbers I provided for these codecs were phrased in a particular way. I said each codec has up to certain transmission rates. That is, up to 384 kilobits per second, for example. This is because Bluetooth connection is not steady. It dips and rises. And the source device, the phone or computer from which you are streaming the music, has to support a particular bandwidth. So, assuming that the Earstudio or BTR5 will always be ready to receive the maximum bandwidth for LDAC, they will never be sent the maximum bandwidth the entire time they are connected to a phone or a computer. The source device from where the music is being sent will choose a particular bandwidth, and there is nothing your $110 BTR5 can do about it. Oh, and to make things even more frustrating, there is no desktop computer support for LDAC. In other words, if you thought you could buy one of these products to connect to your PC at home, you're wasting money. Because Windows and Mac OS do not support LDAC at all. Consequently, the highest resolution Bluetooth audio is not even available for computers. And there is no guarantee it is available for mobile devices either. Even if your mobile device does support LDAC, you have no idea if the software will initially connect via LDAC codec and then in the middle of the transmission switch down to SBC or aptX. All the relevant data and articles suggest that your mobile device will and does switch back and forth. Moreover, there is no way for your BTR5 or Earstudio to force transmission only through one codec. There is no switch on any of these devices that says the audio will be streamed only through LDAC or aptX HD. This is why I said earlier that these devices can't do anything if your source device switches codecs at will. Some of you might be wondering why I'm bringing any of this up. What's the point? Well, hype. There is unmitigated hype behind these products. there are shills who keep promoting these devices and fail to provide detailed explanations why the devices are overpriced. I have had a few people ask me to review the Ear Studio, and I have repeatedly explained why this product is not worth the money. Amplification and Bluetooth signal aside, what exactly does the Ear Studio or Phio BTRs do? What problem do these devices solve? You still have to be within a small radius of the source device, or the Bluetooth connection will stop. Indeed, Bluetooth 5.0 has a maximum reported range of 800 feet. Now, that sounds like a lot, but when you have structures in between you and the source, you will find that the range is frankly a lot smaller. Moreover, your headphones still have to be connected to a device. In other words, you will need to connect your headphones to something. But the problem is that if you're on the go, you'll have more devices than you actually need. If you commute or take a walk, then you'll have your source device, a phone, your headphones, and the Bluetooth amplifier like the Ear Studio or Phio. In this circumstance, why wouldn't you just plug your headphones into your phone instead of the Bluetooth device? And if you're worried about amplification, there are much more powerful portable amplifiers that can connect to your phone or computer. And those alternative devices also support actual high-resolution audio like DSD. The Ear Studio and Phio products are, in my opinion, really pointless. They do nothing that cannot be done better by other devices. I do not understand the hype behind these things. I do not see the justification. If you're interested in buying one of these products, do yourself a favor and think hard about the benefits you think you'll be getting. Don't listen to the shills and hype men. Since they do not pay for these devices and get them for free, they have no incentive to really be honest and critical. This, once again, is the situation that requires you to do your own research, because the so-called audiophile reviewers have let you down again.